How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com. I'd like to welcome you to Canterbury High School, home of the Lady Cavs, getting ready set for a 3A battle between the hosting squad, Canterbury Lady Cavs, against the Leo Lady Lions. Leo comes in 11-4 overall, 2-1 in their Northeast 8 conference. Canterbury is independent, come in 3-8 overall with a dynamic schedule that they play on a yearly basis here at Canterbury. It's good to be back at Canterbury. Been a month and a half or so since Summit City Sports has been in the gym. Carrington Thompson on the camera. This is Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play here this evening. As I mentioned, there are no ranked teams here. A little change out from our Saturday matchup where Homestead beat Lawrence North at number 1. It's number 6 squad in girls varsity basketball, with Homestead winning by 1 to stay undefeated and now have cracked the top 10 in ESPN's top 25 ranking. Right now we'll send you down to the PA announcer for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Please rise for the national anthem. Now the starting lineup for Leo High School. '5'6" senior, number 30, Natalie Neff. 5'7" senior, number 31, Madison Sanderson. 5'9" junior, number 33, Abby Heichman. 5'7" senior, number 41, Brooke Immel. 6'1" senior, number 43, Daisha Green. The Lady Lions are coached by Carrie Sheppel. And now the starting lineup for your Canterbury Lady Cavaliers. .5'11" freshman, number 3, Elena Rongos. 5'8" junior, number 5, Mason Van Houten. 5'8" sophomore, number 21, Sydney Hearn. 5'9" senior, number 23, Alexa Habig. And 5'9" senior, number 44, Claire Rorick. The Lady Cavs are coached by John Beckman.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Canterbury High School, as we get set for tip-off. Starting lineups have been announced for the Leo Lions. Natalie Neff, Madison Sanderson, number 30, Natalie Neff, number 31, Madison Sanderson, 33, Abby Heichman, 41, Brooke Immel, number 43, Daisha Green. For Canterbury, the hosting squad, number 3, Elena Rungos, number 5, Mason Van Houten. She averages 26 points a game, is one of the best players in the city of Fort Wayne. Number 21, Sydney Hearn, 23, Alexa Habig, and number 44, Claire Rourke. Let's get set with Green. And Rongos to tip. We do play 4 8-minute quarters here in girls varsity basketball. Tip was come off the foot of Leo and ended up with Mason Van Houten. Leo comes out in a zone to start the game, 2-3 zone. There's Rongos, finds Habig. Van Houten, one of the leading scorers in the city of Fort Wayne. Nice play by Van Houten with the first bucket of the game. SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Leo now with their first possession offensively. As Canterbury heads into a 2-3 zone themselves, they look for Green down low with the size advantage. 3-ball kick out, no good, rattled out. Loose ball, still loose, picked up by Canterbury, and off they go. Van Houten, you got to get out on her. She'll knock that down. That may have been partially blocked. Loose ball on the ground. And they're going to get a jump ball called. That ball will go to Leo. I guess they didn't say Leo didn't have possession on that tip. So both teams start out in a 2-3 zone on defense. Definitely want to make the shooters shoot on both ends. Green has a huge size advantage down low. Leo definitely needs to get the ball fed down to the post. That's what they do right there. Little pull up. First shot, jitters out of the way now. Rebounded by Canterbury. There's Hearn. Van Houten got away with the travel. Rourke, Habig in the corner for a 3-ball. Short, no good. Loose ball, Claire Rourke with the board, and he's going to get fouled. That foul is going to be on number 41, Brooke Immel. The average is 4.5 a game. That's the team's first, her first. Habig out to Van Houten at the top of the key, in between the circles. He's going to rub a screen off Rourke. Double team out top, and almost thrown away. Habig did get to it. Out to Rongos, 3, no good. Rebounded by Green. Green tries to outlet, but Hearn was there and knocked it out. We'll stay with Leo. 5:57 remaining, just 2-0. On the play by Van Houten. As I mentioned, she averages 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1.5 steals a game. As I mentioned, one of the better players in the city of Fort Wayne. And we are loaded with talent here in girls varsity basketball. 3-ball by Leo, no good. That was Heichman. She averages 8.5 a game, but couldn't graze any rim. But they're going to call that off a touch. We'll stay with Leo. Leo obviously in the all gray with the purple trim. Canterbury in their home whites with the blue trim. That's inside the 3-point line from the baseline. No good. Van Houten with the board. She can do that as well. In traffic, goes to the right hand, and right there you have to force Van Houten to her left, make her finish with the left. Easily got to the right hand, put it up, couldn't get it to go, but she's going to head to the line to shoot 2. Leo's second foul. That's the first on Madison Sanderson, the senior. Van Houten, first one is good. 3 points now for Mason Van Houten. Averages 23 a game. Puts her squad up 3-0. Second one up, and that's nothing but net. 4-0 for the Lady Cavs. Here comes Leo trying to push off the make, up the top of the key. Near wing. Sanderson had Green flash perfectly at the free throw line, didn't get it to her. And a skip pass. Then the baseline's number 41, Immel. Cuts it back to Sanderson. Up top, they swing it nicely. Little pump fake by Neff. Down low to Green. What a catch by Green. It's got to go glass right there, but gets her own miss. It's going to get fouled on the ground. That'll be Canterbury's first team foul. Foul will be placed on number 21, Sydney Hearn. That's her first. She's just a sophomore, averaging 3 points a game, but it's huge on the boards, 5 a game. 3-ball. Leo rattles out for number 30, Natalie Neff, averaging 4 points a game. Van Houten pushes it up to Habig. Habig up top, back to Van Houten now. Still in the 2-3 zone for Leo, and they're going to get a little hand check foul on number 41, Brooke Immel. That's her second foul, team's third. Immel averaging 4.5 a game, 2 boards, just under 2.5 steals a game. So a player that Coach Carrie Chappell will definitely miss out on the hardwood. Coach Chappell is in her 11th year, 154 and 86 overall. As I mentioned, they're 11-4 overall this year, 2-1 in that Northeast 8 conference. It's a new conference here in the surrounding area of Fort Wayne, Indiana. 3 balls, no good, rebounded by Leo as they look to get on the board. They're down 4-0. Green has all kinds of space though at that charity stripe. They just need to be a little bit more patient, spread out, and find the talented senior, Daisha Green, who averages 7.5 a game. She should touch it about every time down the floor. That's gonna be a turnover off Van Houten. She looks at the referee in disbelief. 4-0, 4:10 remaining here in the first quarter. 2-3 zone still for the Lady Cavaliers. Running the baseline nicely was Heischman. Heischman in the corner. No good, that was long. Ball comes out to Sanderson from the wing, short, no good. And gets her own board. Leo just hustling after it. Had Green wide open down low with her defender pinned, but couldn't get it to her. And Hearn tried to tiptoe down that sideline. Couldn't stay in, it'll be out of bounds. We'll go back to Leo. Leo 4-0, down 4-0 here in the first quarter, 3:44 remaining. Coach on the sideline for Canterbury, John Beckman. He's just in his first year, 4-8, but he has loads of talent in the junior and sophomore classes as Van Houten just recovers enough to pressure that 3-ball by Neff. Was out over the backboard for a turnover. Van Houten as Leo comes out with the full court trap. Up to Hearn. Hearn looked cross court, but couldn't link up to Rongos. Another turnover, back-to-back turnovers on Canterbury. Side out now to Leo. Still looking to get on the board, down 4-0. 3:19 remaining here in the first quarter. There's Neff, Natalie Neff. Look for Green, and they double team there on the zone. They look baseline. Sanderson from 18. Picked up her dribble, now finds Green and an easy feed, but Green just couldn't finish, and that's going to go out of bounds off. Oh, check that. They're going to say off Canterbury, I think off Claire Rorick. We'll stay with Leo. A good post feed to Green, and maybe that's why she missed. Coach Chappell knows she may be a little bit gassed here. Out of bounds underneath the basket for Leo. As I mentioned, still trying to get on the board. Habig with a nice steal, but threw it away. Right to Leo, but they can't convert. Sanderson with the board. Back out. As Leo looks to reset. 2-3 zone here for Canterbury. Natalie Neff. Sanderson. Madison Sanderson up top. Kayla Willis. Willis back to Sanderson. Van Houten got a piece of the ball there, but just a little too much pressure on that second go at the ball. It's a bit too aggressive. That will be on Van Houten, her first. That is the team's second. 2:33 remaining here in the first quarter. Sanderson. Not a lot of movement here as they with baseline crossover, tries to get in the crease of the defense, cannot. Rangos moved her feet nicely, and there's a travel. Unforced turnover on Leo. Leo still being held scoreless, 2-14. Van Houten is a screen from Habig, back to Van Houten. Has Hearn over there. Goes into the paint, little right-handed floater, hanging on the rim, couldn't get it to go. Rorick tried to pop it out, and Van Houten's gonna get hit with the cheapie. Coach Beckman will definitely stay with Van Houten as he trusts her above about any captain, the junior, leading scorer for the Lady Cavs. Sanderson here to Heischman, down low. Willis can't get it to go. Rebounded by Hearn, out to Van Houten. This is where she's dangerous on the break. Kicks it to Rangos. Rangos goes baseline. Little 10-foot jumper. She was even behind the basket, I believe, behind the backboard, and floated it in nicely. Elena Rangos averages 6 a contest. Willis with the board. She's had some great minutes since she's checked in for Coach Chappelle to relieve the talented senior, Daisha Green. She'll go to the line now to shoot 2. That's Canterbury's 3rd team foul. Check it, 4th team foul. First on number 23, Alexa Habig. Willis can't get it to go. Still being held scoreless is Leo. Michaela Willis, the senior. 2nd attempt. Up and good. Little one-handed free throw by Willis. Knocks it in. They're on the board now. Been held scoreless through the first 7 minutes of this contest, but only down 5 points as their defense has held them in. That'll be number 40, Renee Harding. She's going to pick up the reach on Van Houten. Team's 4th foul. That's her first. Out of bounds, and Sydney Hearn. Look for Habig, knocked out by Harding. As I mentioned, Michaela Willis has played outstanding since she's checked in here. Averages 4.5 points a game, 3.5 boards, and you've seen it. She already has that board total. As Van Houten, this little incidental contact, hit the ground. Turnover. Been the bugaboo so far for Canterbury here in the early going. It's turnovers, I have them for 5 unofficially. As they stay in that 2-3 zone on defense, really sagging off them 3-point shooters, packing it in. They look for Willis, but I think Hearn's gonna get caught reaching in. She did, Sydney Hearn, that's her 2nd foul, team's 5th. Will be in the 1-and-1 after at the 7th team foul. They look for Willis. They inbound it to her. 50 seconds here to go in the first quarter. Up top, kick it to Sanderson. Sanderson, and that's gonna be a travel. Get the pill out of her hand quick enough. Turnover for Leo, back Canterbury's side. Leo picks up with the press. Trying to force a turnover, or at least speed up Canterbury, which is exactly what they do right there, force the turnover. Another one for Canterbury, 38.6 remaining here in the first. Van Houten just got blew by right there, and the lane couldn't get it to go. Good number 33, Heischman. Here comes Rangos, kicks it to Van Houten. Van Houten looks for a crease, has Rangos in the corner. Chooses to come back up top to set it up with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll go for that last shot. Up 6-1. Low scoring contest. Good screen by Hearn. Van Houten goes baseline, kicks it to Habig. Habig couldn't get control of that catch right off the jump. 1 second, half-court shot, no good. Put up by Natalie Neff. So at the end of one, The score is Canterbury Cavaliers 6, the Leo Lions 1. SummitCitySports.com brought to you by Parkview Hospital. I'd like to thank, of course, the athletic director of Canterbury High School, Ken Harkenreiter. Always an outstanding host here at Canterbury High School, as we've had the pleasure of covering their boys and girls soccer teams here in the fall. Had an outstanding run, did the boys in 2A. The state champs in 1A for the girls was the Lady Cavaliers. Outstanding program, academics are bar none, and will compete against anyone in the state or the country for that matter. With athletic director Ken Harkenreiter. Second quarter, Habig inbounds, Van Houten. Leo stays in that 2-3 zone. Van Houten, look baseline for Habig. Good cut away from the ball there by Peters. I was impressed by Lily Peters. The two times I saw Canterbury, she's just a sophomore, number 30, right there she is. From 18, no good, but didn't hesitate to put in the jumper coming off the bench. Heischman. Neff up top, Sanderson. And who I do see missing is number 25, the leading scorer for the Leo Lady Lions, Morgan Sanderson. Number 25, she's sitting on the bench in street clothes, so not sure if it's an injury or what, but Leo definitely missing her offensive output of 12 and a half a game here, as we've played 9 minutes here in the first half, and they've only scored that 1 point. As that one's thrown up, the hardest shot that they put up yet today, and it goes in for number 31, Madison Sanderson. Up top, the Rangos. Van Houten, 6'3" is your score. And that's a 3-ball there. Right on cue almost. Number 30, Lily Peters, averages almost 7.5 a game. Hits the 3-ball. And Leo comes right back that away. Number 40, Renee Harding with her first bucket. 9-5. Van Houten fights Rangos on the baseline. Habig in the wing. Good recovery defensively by number 33, Abby Heischman, the junior, for Leo. Van Houten, you got to come out on her. She can knock that down. Back rim, that one no good. Peters trying to get that board. Couldn't come up with it. Number 30, Natalie Neff did. The senior brought it up. Leaves it to Heischman. Abby Heischman cross over to the left hand, pull up from about 15, no good. Loose ball, Habig picks it up. Van Houten goes right to the cup, takes a bump and puts it up, no good. You're gonna get a blocking foul called on number 31, Madison Sanderson. That's her second, team's 5th. Two shots coming for Van Houten. 2 for 2, excuse me, 2 for 2 here. Make it 3 for 3 in the early going. 5:39 remaining here in the second quarter. 10-5 your score. Canterbury in control. Van Houten to step up for her second. That one falls. Van Houten now with 6 points. Canterbury up 11-5. Good dribble drive right to the bucket and got it to go. Number 41, Brooke Immel. Nice take and the steal and a step through. Little Euro step by Brooke Immel. Stole and put it right back up, and that pressure is speeding up. The Canterbury Cavaliers, another turnover, 11-9. Leo has a chance to tie it up. Daisha Green checking in. Corner to Willis, good look to Green. Nicely well executed play with Green finishing it tied up 11-11. Leo stays with this press, and I can't blame him. Rongos, and there's almost another turnover. Habig does pick it up. Out to Rongos. Rongos attacks the defense, leave it to Habig. Nice play, and can't get it to go. Good box out by Willis, and Leo picks it up. Immel kicks it out. Neff, no good. Green with the board and spins it in. Daisha Green now with 4 quick points. Leo with their first lead, 13-11. Van Houten dribbles right past the double team, all the way in, gets it knocked by Green, but lost control of the ball. No foul called. Out of bounds to Leo. Leo looks to inbound with the 2-point advantage. Claire Rorick checking back in, but Coach John Beckman not liking what he's seeing here. Is going to get a timeout called on the floor. And I'm waiting for the signal. We're going to get a 30-second timeout called by Coach Beckman. With his squad down 13-11, 4:30 remaining to go in this second quarter. 6-1 was the end of one, but Leo has put a string of points together and looks effective in the execution down low with the 2 bigs in the game at the same time with Michaela Willis and Daisha Green. They run that little 2-man game on the baseline, can cause all kinds of fits for Canterbury with the lack of size they have down low. Neff inbounds, she'll get it back. Averages 4 points a game. As I mentioned, their top leading scorer and arguably their best player out tonight. Then number 25, Morgan Sanderson. Green, lucky not get caught for an over the back. And they will get Peters with a traveling call. It almost looked, I was kind of shielded by the defense, almost looked like she caught the ball in a sitting position, but the referee didn't see it that way. Out of bounds to Leo. The turnover on Canterbury. They toss it right into Green, out to Neff. They look baseline. Neff. Canterbury stays in that 2-3 zone. Immel. Harding kicked it to Willis. Willis with a nice pump fake. Tried to go up, and O'Rourke was there solidly, says the baseline referee. Offensive foul called on Michaela Willis. The senior, Claire Rorick, got in position and took that charge. Inbound to Rongos, back to Habig. Peters, excuse me, number 30, and now that's Rongos, number 3. Rongos, Habig, Peters, got to get out on her, she'll launch it. Up top to Habig, wide open 3-ball, no good. Just can't get the long outside shots to go, can the Cavaliers, as they reset off the rebound. Green with the easy board over the smaller Van Houten. And here comes Leo looking to push that 2-point advantage. They kick it, that's inside the 3-point line. Bounced around, no good. Willis with the board, popped it back up. Fell off the back rim in. She now has 3 points. 4-point lead for Leo. Habig, close to an over the back call. Peters, Van Houten. He's gonna launch a 3 over Willis. Nothing but net. You can't leave her any breathing room. You don't want her to start feeling comfortable behind the arc, as she will start launching them with the fury. Turnover. Oh, check that, sorry, that was knocked out by Canterbury. Will stay with Leo. Look down low for Harding, couldn't find her, but that's Willis with the left-handed jump hook. Green tried to save it, but did to Canterbury. Peters finds Rongos. Rongos, let's remember, just a freshman, little right-handed 10-foot jumper, no good. Rebounded by Leo, 2:20 to go here in the second. Van Houten trying to stay with Neff. Neff with a nice dribble, but can't get the left-handed floater to go. We'll go out of bounds to Canterbury. Madison Sanderson checks back in for Leo, as well as Sydney Hearn, number 21 for Canterbury, as Elena Rongos will take a seat. Talented freshman for Coach Beckman. Canterbury coming off a streak of losses, 4 straight losses. But it's played some good competition. Got beat at Southside only by 3. Then he got beat by 14 at Carroll, only 3 at Blackhawk Christian, and then played a talented Gary West team before Christmas break at home, and lopsided win did Gary West, 76-52. So coming off 4 straight losses is Coach Beckman, looking to cut that streak at 4 and get this W against Leo, but they're gonna get a travel call against Daisha Green. Turnover for Leo. They're up 15-14, 2:07 remaining in the second. They're gonna stay in that press, which has caused Canterbury fits. Ragos checked out Haybig. Haybig, as Leo's in the man-to-man now. Van Houten. Now they sit back in that 2-3 zone. Good screen by Hearn. Got Van Houten open. She couldn't drop it down from 14. Rebounded by Leo. Immel looking to push. Got it to Harding. Nice step through by Harding. Renee Harding, the senior, with her 4th point. 17-14. Van Houten looks to push, looks baseline. They're going to get a blocking foul called on number 31, Madison Sanderson. That will be her 3rd. 17th foul, 1-1. Van Houten will head to the line. 9 points of the 14 for Canterbury. Van Houten the front end. Rattles it home. She'll get a second attempt. Cuts the lead to 2, 17-15. Hits that one. 6 for 6 from the line here in the first half for Van Houten. Cuts the deficit to 1. Immel look to Harding in the short corner, up top. Little pull up from the left elbow, front rim no good for Heischman. But Green there knocking on the boards, gonna get the putback, can't get it to go, but Rorick's gonna get hit with the foul. That's her first, team 6th. Minute 16 to go, Green to the line to shoot 2. That one just can't rattle home. Unfriendly rim there for the senior, Daisha Green. Listed at 6'1". Good rebound by Haybig as Green misses both. Minute 13, they're gonna get another foul called. This one's gonna go on Renee Harding, just trying to stay with Mason Van Houten. She'll head back to the line for the 1-1. 6 for 6 from the line. Coach Chappell kind of confused about the call. Van Houten hits the first. Minute 12, 17-17. Van Houten with her second attempt. Second attempt is up, and that one rattles home as well. 8 for 8 from the line, 18-17. Canterbury back on top. Good defense. That's going to be a travel called on number 33, Abby Heischman. Good defensive feat by the junior. Van Houten causing the turnover. Haybig looks inbound to Hearn. Sydney Hearn is going to get it over the timeline. Picked it up a bit late. Goes down to the ground. No travel. They're saying it was a loose ball. Peters up top to Van Houten. She can launch it from there. Pump fake. Haybig left wide open. Haybig front rim no good. Rorick with the rebound. Put back good. Claire Rorick. Big point. Averages 1.5 a game. Right there she got her average, and that was a big one. pushing the lead back to 3, 35 seconds to go in this second quarter. Green with the nice post positioning and feed, but can't get it to go. Rebounded by Canterbury. They look to push. Van Houten, 24 seconds. Now Coach Beckman is going to call out for this last shot. 13 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter, 2017. Canterbury regained the lead, could try to stretch it. Habig in the corner, Van Houten, 2 seconds. Dribble drive, back rim, no good. Rebounded, put back up, and no good. Wouldn't have counted anyway, says the outside official. So we'll head to halftime. Back and forth game there in the second quarter. Canterbury is going to end that second half with the 3-point advantage, 2017. SummitCitySports.com brought to you by Parkview Hospital. We're going to take a short break and join you for that second half. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Carrington Thompson on the camera. This is Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play here this evening. A back and forth first half. Did not start very quickly as first quarter ended 6-1 with Canterbury with the lead, but Leo fought back behind some balanced scoring with 5 Leo Lions scoring in that second quarter. But Mason Van Houten, the story for the Cavaliers, knocking them down at the free throw line, has 13 points, 8 of them coming from the charity stripe. So we'll get ready with Leo. First possession. Down by 3. We have 16 minutes remaining here in the contest. This is a 3A battle out of conference, as Canterbury is an independent. Leo plays out of the Northeast 8 Conference, brand new conference. Here with the separation of Carroll and Homestead, they join the Summit Athletic Conference. Immel, looks like she got away from a double dribble there, but will get hit going up. Maybe nitpicking a bit at this level, but looks like she had both hands on the ball there at one time. Should have been a double dribble, not called, but she'll head to the line now to try to take advantage. Immel does hit the first. Now has 5 points. Habig's going to check out. Hearn in. Not sure why Habig's being subbed out so quickly. Unless she's, under the weather or something, but I don't like to speculate on that. And double dribble called, but could have called that for Neff, knocking the ball a little bit. Should have called a loose ball in my opinion, but turnover it is. Back to Leo. So back-to-back turnovers. We stay 2019, 7.5 remaining in the third quarter. Willis is outstanding off the bench for Coach Chappell. Neff, right there in the corner. Immel runs the baseline. Gonna bring it back out to the wing. Sanderson, skip pass. Good ball movement now for Leo, just can't get an open shot. Immel, she takes it right into the defense, and Rorick didn't look like she was set. Tough call there on Brooke Immel. Turnover on the offensive foul. Rorick, though, that's her second charge that she's created against Leo. That's Immel's third foul, I believe, as well, as Van Houten comes right back and makes him pay from the top of the key. Mason Van Houten now with 16. That's her second 3 of the game. Look at Immel, the senior. They skip past nicely to Neff. She can't get it to go. Leo just can't get that 3 ball to go down. Has not hit one yet this evening. Peters gets the start here to start the third quarter. Van Houten, and they're going to get a little hand check foul called on Madison Sanderson. That'll be her 4th foul, the team's second. Himmel out. Rongos looks to inbound to Van Houten. Sanderson shielded it nicely, little DB action, but broke up the play, but Canterbury came back up with it. Peters now is going to go to the talented junior, and Van Houten will get a screen from O'Rourke. She goes opposite. Rongos left wide open for three. Freshman can't get it to go. And kind of looks down at the other end in disgust. Sanderson just lost control, somehow got it back. Half wide open from the baseline. Can't get the three ball to go still for the Lady Lions as Van Houten brings it out. Little forced spin move. She's feeling it a little bit. You need to get out on her. Hearn from the right elbow. Front rim no good. Rebounded by Willis. Willis averages 3.5 rebounds a game. She's over that as Hearn with the great hustle by Sydney Hearn, the sophomore. I mentioned a lot of young players here for Canterbury. Habig now will check back in. Rongos to sit. Habig, the senior. Just 2 seniors on the roster, Habig and number 44, Claire Rorick. So everyone returning for Coach Beckman as he's looking to build with the outstanding talent he has. Good catch by Green and had to force get rid of it because that pass took her out of bounds. Sanderson now from the top of the key. Cross over the left hand, leaves it. Heischman back out to Sanderson. Goes Neff on the opposite wing. Green needs to be more demonstrative down low to get that ball. Rorick knocks it away. Ball put up, no good. Loose ball and jump ball. Hearn and Heischman both with possession of that ball, causing the jump. Alternating possessions will go back to Canterbury. 23-19, 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Van Houten goes far side to Habig. Habig draws the defense, goes to Peters. Far side to Hearn. Should have been a travel call there. Shuffled the feet. Good almost a 5-second call on the good man-to-man defense. Van Houten, good show by Neff and got up. That's a travel. Had to be called a travel or a jump, one of the two. And they went with the travel call. We'll go out of bounds to Leo now. Down 23-19. Heischman setting it up. Sanderson goes right into the defense. Nice lay to Green. Green just too far underneath the basket. Gets her second putback to go. Daisha Green now with 6 points. Cuts the lead to 2. Van Houten was the right hand, leaves it to Hearn, back to Peters, has Habig on the far wing. Leo stays in that 2-3 zone, active zone. Hearn up top to Habig. Van Houten gets a screen from Rorick, and that's going to be a travel call. You need to come down with 2 stop with both feet hitting the ground at the same time. You cannot take another step, which in turn caused the travel. 23-21, another turnover for Canterbury. Up top, Sanderson, as they're not pressing that 3-point line. Leo has not hit one. Heischman with a little scoop shot. No good, but does get fouled. She'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul's gonna be placed on Van Houten. That's her second. That's just the team second. Both teams with 2 fouls. As you won't see Van Houten come out of the contest, she'll play all 32 minutes for Coach Beckman. As I mentioned, they're coming off 4 straight defeats. Leo coming off a win at Garrett, 41-27 on December the 30th. But they are 11-floor overall. Van Houten almost travels there. Hearn gets it to Peters. Sophomore to sophomore there. Van Houten goes baseline. Habig, corner. Can't release it in time. Good recovery by Michaela Willis. Habig Van Houten gets a screen from Rorick. Another one, little step back. Had the defender in the air but couldn't pull the trigger. Sydney Hearn with baseline to Peters. Peters finds Rorick. Rorick, good cut by Hearn, but Rorick couldn't find her. Rorick dribbles out. Nicely done by Claire Rorick, the senior, showed good composure. Van Houten took a look at the three, decided against it. Peters, Canterbury just can't get a good look now. Leo playing outstanding defense in that 2-3 zone. 23-23, little runner, right-hander, no good. Michaela Willis with the rebound. It's it to Sanderson. Sanderson takes it right at the defense as Peters is going to get hit with the reach-in foul. It is on Lily Peters, her first, team's third. Out of bounds down low. Morgan Sanderson as Neff sits. Sanderson looks to inbound, finds Willis. Willis pops it out. They swing it up top to Heischman for three. Still can't get one to go. Can Leo? Over from the three-point line as Van Houten picks it up. Tightropes that timeline. Little step back three from the wing. She loves that Steph Curry pull step back three. Loves that jumper. She hit several down in warm-ups. But Van Houten hits her third three of the game. Now has 19 of the 26 points put in by Canterbury. And that is the difference, 26-23, three-point advantage for the Cavaliers. Monday night action here, girls varsity basketball in the city of Fort Wayne. 3A battle. Tomorrow night we'll be out at Blackhawk Christian for a boys matchup between Southside and Blackhawk Christian. Come out to that high school, it'll be a great environment. Tomorrow night, 7:30 tip time. They're at Blackhawk Christian. Athletic Director Jamie Perlick, of course, another outstanding host as we come across nothing but great athletic directors here in Fort Wayne and the Summit Athletic Conference especially. But even the independents and outside conferences, like Mr. Ken Harkenrider, AD here at Canterbury High School. 2:15 remaining in the third quarter, 26-23. Canterbury holding that advantage. That was the advantage at half. 2017 was the halftime score. Sanderson down to Green. Green just turns over the left shoulder and puts it in easily. Nothing Canterbury can do when she gets the post catch right there on the block. It's pretty much game over. Van Houten got the defender reaching. She goes all the way to bucket. Brings three defenders with her. Habig, contested three, rebounded by Rorick. Kicks it to Rangos. Rangos lost control, out to Peters. Peters three ball. Nothing on that. Rorick with another board, playing outstanding here tonight. Peters took it right back to the cup. He's going to get a foul called against Leo. He'll get it on number 43, Daisha Green. That's just her first. Team's third. Will send Peters to the line to shoot a pair. Averages 7 points a game. That's her fourth point. Second attempt coming. Up and good for Peters. Pushes that back to a three-point lead for Canterbury, 28-25. Sanderson. Sanderson. Nice take to the bucket. Just needs to go with the left hand there. Going with the right was the difference of that spinning out. We stayed a three-point advantage for Canterbury. Minute 10 to go here in the third. Habig in the corner to Peters. Gets a screen from Rorick. Takes it right to the free throw line. Had the jumper there. Goes back to Rorick, who pops it back to Peters. Habig. Van Houten. Baseline dribble drive. Been doing that all game, taking it from one sideline to the other on the baseline. Habig, three ball. Man, she's about due. Rorick that time is going to get caught reaching on the over the back. She'll get hit with that foul. That's her second. Team's fourth. 28-25, 44 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Heischman, near side. Harding, that's a 2, no good. Rebounded by Willis again and somehow found an opening to the bucket. No good, rebound Sanderson. Heischman will look at another 3 and Leo was bound to hit one. That one goes down by the junior. Abby Heischman ties it up at 28. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rongos screens for Van Houten, moves it to Peters. Rongos alone for 3 at the top of the key. Easiest shot and basketball. That top of the key 3. Half-court shot at back rim, no good, would have counted. So no good, but that's where we end with Rangos hitting the 3. She now has 5 points. 31-28. Canterbury keeps that 3-point advantage. Again, thanks for checking us out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel free of charge, of course. You'll get all of our updates for our full game video and highlight clips that we are producing weekly and nightly in some cases, as we're covering 5 to 6 games a week for your viewing pleasure here as we continue to follow this outstanding basketball action in the Fort Wayne area. So we start this fourth quarter. 14 fouls on Canterbury, 3 on Leo. Leo shoots 62% from the line. Has went 2 for 6 unofficially here through the first 3 quarters. Canterbury shoots at 74% from the line, so an advantage there. Immel took it into that short corner and picked up the ball. Heischman, Immel. She likes to show that ball on that pump fake as Rongos is going to get hit with a chippy. Coach Beckman doing a little coaching there from the seat, talking about the closeout coming up not straight up and coming out under control. If you come out of control, they'll go right by you on the pump fake. As Green rebounds that 3-ball miss from Heischman. Neff's going to launch another one. That one swirls around and in for Natalie Neff. Tied up, 31-31. Rongos goes baseline, cut off, little step back jumper. Can't get it to go, rebounded by Green. Neff looks to push, does, up to Immel, back to Heischman. Double teamed, Willis, left elbow. Good split on the defense, but can't get it to go. Rebounded, knocked out by Rorick. 7:06 to go here. Tied up at 31s. Hearn's gonna come in for Rorick. Rorick's at good minutes for Coach Beckman. Immel inbounds it. Willis. Heischman, near side to Immel. Good look there to Green. Green's got to look and face the basket there. Make the defense come to her, and that's where the open looks come cross court, hitting your wide open 3-point shots. 6:50 remaining. We'll stay with Leo on the kick ball. In a back and forth game. Pretty much all game, with Canterbury keeping that 3-point advantage through the third. Nice dribble drive, can't get it to go. That was partially blocked by Habig from behind. Van Houten gets the outlet, Himmel knocks it away. Van Houten takes it, and she's gonna get double teamed. She's gonna get a blocking foul called on Natalie Neff. Team's fourth, her first. Canterbury's gonna get a timeout. Coach Beckman wants to talk about it. keep possession of the game. Full timeout called by Coach Beckman. Canterbury will have a couple SAC games against some SAC foes over these next 3 games. This Saturday they will be hosting Bishop Lures, and then the next 2 games are Bishop Dwenger and Concordia. So hitting the private schools there in the SAC are the Canterbury Cavaliers over the next week and a half. For Leo, test does not get any easier from here, as after this matchup Leo will host Norwell on Friday night at 7:30. I would highly suggest you get out there and check that game out. Norwell only lost to the #1 team in the state, the Homestead Lady Spartans, who continue to rail off wins. They're now 13-0, and ESPN just put them in their top 10 for high school girls varsity basketball in the country. Van Houten looks to get the inbound, can't get it. Good defense by Immel. They'll find Rongos though, as Green doesn't want to come out with her, but Rongos can knock that down. Rongos goes all the way to the left side, puts it in, and one. Nice move by the freshman, Elena Rongos. Now has 7, chance to the line to convert that 3-point play. Rongos up and no good. Tracked down by Immel. So we'll stay at 2-point advantage for Canterbury. Here's Neff. Heischman, Immel, Harding. They find Harding there on the block. Up top to Neff, wide open for 3, and off left, out of bounds to Canterbury. 6:10 remaining here in the game. Habig into Van Houten. Van Houten will run the show here. Van Houten steps through, gets it to Habig. Good cross-court pass to Peters. Peters, little jumper from 8, no good. Rebounded and knocked out though by Hearn. We'll stay with Leo. Down by 2, 33-31, just under 6 minutes to go. Leo 11-4 on the year. Canterbury 3-8, both 3A. In the state of Indiana, they look low to Green. Cross-court pass to Neff, just inside the 3-point line, no good. Rebound by Habig, and that was a strong board with 2 Leo Lions right there. Neff, triple team. There needs to be some openings. Habig's from the charity stripe. Nice play by Alexa Habig. Finally on the scoreboard. Averages almost 7 a game. That's her first points. 35-31. Biggest lead in the second half for for Canterbury. Peters, good closeout. Immel from 18, rattles out. And look at the hustle by Neff. But even better by Rongo, saves it to Van Houten. Van Houten looks to push. Hearn from 15, Habig, 3-ball. Just not a lot of arc on that. Flat shot, spun out. Immel. Up top to Neff. Neff's done an outstanding job running the point for Leo. Skip pass to Heischman. 3-ball from the wing, back rim no good. Rebounded by Brooke Immel. Immel looks to attack the defense, took it in, and good no call, I believe, as Sydney Hearn stood strong. Thrown out of bounds, turnover on Leo, as Coach Chappell will get a 30-second timeout called to regroup the troops here. Down by 4 points, 4.5 minutes remaining. Coach Beckman going over some last-minute instructions as Coach Chappell. Coach Chappell wants to keep it going as they've rolled off some quality wins this year, going to DeKalb and beating DeKalb. Only losses were against Carroll by 4, South Adams by 2, Triton by 2, and Huntington North beat them by 10, but close games for the most part on their losses for Leo. Van Houten finds Habig. Habig double teamed on that trap. Rongos. That's a 2-ball. Ah, they're going to call it a 3. It looked like her foot was on the line, but it was not. 38-31. Rongos hits a second 3-pointer. She now has 9. Emma with a nice take to the left side of the bucket. Rolls it in for the deuce, 38-33. Van Houten double teamed there on the trap. Good look by Hearn to Peters. Peters just can't finish over Willis, who had great position. Sanderson pushes. Sanderson takes it all the way up and no good. And knocked out of Peters' hands, but will get hit with the foul. 16th foul. They got that on Madison Sanderson. They only have her for 3 up on the board. I have that her being her 4th foul, but looks like Canterbury coaches aren't saying anything about it, so we're good to go here. Van Houten tries to break the D, and she stepped on the line. No blocking foul called on Heischman. Turnover on Canterbury. Heischman looked down low. Harding just couldn't get the catch, and Peters knocked it out of her hand. We'll stay with Leo. 3:19 to go. 38-33. Canterbury with their biggest lead in the second half. Good flash by Willis. Hard catch, and they're going to get a foul on the reach end. They're going to call it a shooting foul. Willis will head to the line to shoot a pair now. 1 for 2 from the line here this evening. Foul was on number 30. Lily Peters, her second. As Willis knocks that home, 2 for 3 now from the line. Second one rattles, no good. Rebound by Harding and put back, can't get it to go. Had the easy bucket, no defenders around, just rushed it. Van Houten with a nice hesitation dribble. Willis with better hands. Kept the pivot foot, did Van Houten, and put it home. Her first bucket of the 4th quarter. We're under 3 minutes. 6-point lead for Canterbury. Good look to Willis, but that was a tough catch. Immel and Rangos collide. They're going to get it. Rangos hit with that foul. Green will check back in for Leo as Immel heads to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Big free throw there. She'll have a second opportunity. 40-35. Up, and that one rattles home. Timeout called by Coach Chappelle with her squad now down by 4, 40-36. Here in the 4th quarter, 2:51 remaining. Again, thanks for checking us out on our YouTube channel, Summit City Sports. Subscribe to that channel and you'll receive updates when we post our newest highlight clips and full game videos, as there are anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12 games a week we'll be posting up on our YouTube channel. Also check out our website, summitcitysports.com. Hit us back for any feedback. Always trying to improve the site and the relationship with the Fort Wayne area and its athletes. 2:51 remaining here. Canterbury with the ball, half full court trap here will be implied by Coach Chappell and her Lady Lions. Van Houten picked up the ball, finds Peters, who finds Habig. Leo falls back in that 2-3 zone. Peters, as they'll have to extend that. Ooh, could have been a travel call there on Peters. And that one will be called. Rongo shuffled the feet before he got that ball up. Turnover for Canterbury. We'll go back to Leo, down by 4, 2.5 minutes remaining. Look down low for Green, and Rangos knocked it away. Picked herself up on the defensive end after the turnover to force a turnover for herself. Van Houten picked up the dribble, double team, loose ball, and that's going to be a jump ball called. We'll stay with Canterbury. 2:08 remaining in the game, 40-36. Rangos in the corner to Peters. Habig, that's a turnover. Sanderson, Habig's gonna get hit with the foul. That will send Madison Sanderson to the line to shoot 2. Sanderson good on the first. Now has 3 points. The senior with her second attempt. That one up and rattles home. 40-38 is your score. Canterbury on top. Minute 48 to go. Peters finds Van Houten here on the near side. Scrambling defense by Leo. Foul's going to be called, as Coach Chappell does not want the fouls yet, as she's implores to her team, we're not fouling yet. And that's the last one you want to send to the line in Van Houten, who's 8 for 8 from the charity stripe this evening. First of the 1-and-1 is good. Second attempt for Van Houten. That one is good as well. Back to a 4-point advantage for Canterbury. Minute 35. Leo running out of time here. Sanderson, they skip it around the horn. 3 ball. Heischman can't get it to go. Rebounded by Green. And Rangos is going to get hit with the foul. Her third. Team's 10, so that will be the double bonus. Check it, just the 9th team foul. We're still in the 1-and-1. Willis is going to take his seats at great minutes for Leo. I believe that's Renee Harding checking in. Ponytails. Yep, that's Renee Harding, number 40. Green, second attempt. That one's no good. Check that was her first attempt, the front end of the 1-and-1. No good, so left an opportunity for 2 points there at the charity stripe. That's got to be a foul over and over the back, and they're going to get a foul called on Madison Sanderson. Leo fans not liking it, but that is her. See, and they do now have it up as 5. That's her 5th foul. She fouls out of the contest. Tough break for Sanderson. Almost a over and back called, but the reach called before that. So Willis and Neff check back in. Rorick's going to check back in for Canterbury for Hearn. Van Houten, the 1-and-1. Gets the front end. Then nothing but money from the line. 10 from 10. Make it 11 for 11. 12 for 12 here this evening from the line. Minute 15 remaining, 6-point advantage for Canterbury, their biggest of the second half. They need it, absolutely needed it. Natalie Neff hits her second three ball, cuts the deficit back to 3. Manageable for Leo, minute 10 remaining here at Canterbury High School, home of the Cavaliers. 2 timeouts apiece for each squad. As I mentioned, Leo will host one of the top-ranked teams in Class 3A, the Norwell Knights, led by Stephanie Conrad and company. As Canterbury will host Lures on Saturday night. As Coach Backman's going to follow that timeout called by Leo with a 30-second of his own. Why not? So 1 timeout remaining now for Canterbury and 2 for Leo. (44-41) is your score. SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Carrington Thompson on the camera. This is Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play. Tomorrow night we'll be out at Blackhawk Christian. January the 5th, 7:30 tip time, as Blackhawk Christian will host the Southside Archers. Be a good matchup. Contrasting styles tomorrow out at Blackhawk Christian. Hey, big, inbounds to Van Houten, and foul right away on Immel. Only 2 seconds came off the clock. Nothing hurt there. Immel will get hit with her 4th. It's the team's 8th. 1-1 for Van Houten. Up and good. Van Houten keeps it smooth from the line. 13 for 13. Let me double check my math. 13 for 13 it is. Van Houten up. Second attempt is good. 14 free throws hit by Van Houten, leading scorer of the game. They're going to block the foul on Canterbury. That will send Brooke Immel to the line. Claire Rorick's going to get hit with that foul. 10th team foul. Immel hits the first of 2. 3 for 5 from the line. Immel can't get the second to go. Rebounded by the freshman Rangos. Dangerous pass, knocked away by Heischman. 56 seconds remaining, 46-42. Canterbury on top of Leo. 2 3A schools. Van Houten. 3 on her. Peters finds the open person and Haybig. Haybig. Crossover, almost got caught, did, and stolen by Heischman out to Immel and put in by Immel. Heischman with the steal up to Immel, and she just finished nicely. Immel's gonna get caught with the foul. Just too much pressure without the ball. That will go on Immel. That's her 5th. That's a tough foul. 27.7 seconds. As they were battling, as the referee said he was watching them the whole way. As Immel fouls out, Green checks back in. Rorick back in as Hearn sits for Canterbury. 46-44. Van Houten to the line. They are in the double bonus now as Van Houten hits another free throw. 15 straight. And make it 16 straight free throws. Now has 29 points, game high. Van Houten as Heishman threw it away. Tough play for Leo. Turnover goes back to Canterbury. Leo down by 4. They have to foul now with 23 seconds and no shot clock. Inbound to Van Houten, knocked away, but we'll stay with Canterbury. .4, good cut by Van Houten. Van Houten's gonna take it back to the timeline and run some clock. Somebody needs to foul, but they don't want to foul her. Way to get her way, now you want to foul. They don't foul her, now they're gonna waste away. You can't foul Van Houten, that's what they do. That's exactly what Coach Chappell is telling her squad, foul this one. Pointing to Peters when she had the ball. They did not. Got it back to Van Houten. Now she heads back to the line with 29 points. (17-17) from the line. Making a living there at the charity stripe is the junior. 20 for 20, and that's my first showing at a 20 for 20 performance I've ever seen live. Leave it to the junior from Canterbury, Mason Van Houten, as Heishman launches a 3. That one's short, and that will all but do it. Willis can't save it, but that is the game. 2.2 seconds remaining. Looks like Canterbury will squeak out the home win over Leo, 50-44. Big win by the Cavs. For Carrington Thompson, I'm Tim Atkinson, SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Thanks for checking us out.
All right, standing here, Coach Beckman. Big win here tonight against a talented Leo squad. What was the game plan going in against the balanced scoring? Obviously, Sanderson was out for them, which was a huge part. But what was the game plan coming in, and how well did the girls execute?
The game plan is we've really been working. We put in a 2-3 zone earlier this year, and it was something I don't think at the beginning of the year we were ready to play, but we thought with some of the teams we're playing, we had to get it in and start working on it. And I understand running the same type of defense we ran at Heritage, it takes time. So probably over the break, we had 2 weeks off where we didn't play. We spent a lot of time working on that, just kind of getting into gaps and filling spaces, and also just trying to match up with people, being aware where shooters are. When they catch it, you're basically playing man principles on that spot again, and really challenging people.
Well, it worked to perfection there in the first quarter, only holding them to 1 point there. So turnovers were a lot to do with that. But you guys got beat 4 games in a row there. This was huge for Canterbury to break that streak, get going. You got Lures next. You start getting some SAC opponents here, which is always fun for any team. What are you taking out of this game, talking to the girls about moving forward? Obviously, Mason's outstanding, but the team effort, what are you taking out of tonight, moving into Lures in these next 3 SAC games?
I think probably the biggest thing is the confidence. Like you said, coming off those 4 losses, and a couple of those games, and we just played some teams were just clearly better than us. But there was we had a couple tough ones. We lost to Southside by 3 after having a 9-point lead in the 4th quarter. And I think it was getting to the point where after those 4 losses, they were kind of starting to maybe question themselves, are we going to win again? And we talked about that coming in. You know, these teams are winnable games. We just need to play well. Just need to clean up some little things. So
Now, last question here for you, a little off the wall here, but in practice, is there any free throw shooting competitions? Does Mason win most of those? She was 20 for 20 from the line here from my calculation. I could be wrong, but have you seen that? I know this is your first year at Canterbury, but we're going back to Belmont days. Have you seen something like that from the line? She's just magnificent.
Yeah. We practice free throws at practice. I mean, you know, in between things will take time, but as far as competitions, no. But I think, and I'd have to have our team stats on the year. As a team overall, we're shooting from the free throw line pretty well. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I'm thinking 74%.
Yeah.
And for a team free throw percentage, that's pretty nice. So as a team, but yeah, she does an awesome job. She does an awesome job getting the contact and getting to the line and knocking it down. So.
Well, good luck the rest of the way in these next couple games, and it's always great seeing you,
A
Coach.
little bit of that. Thank you.
Van Houten, great game here tonight. Beat a game Leo squad. Underdog coming in, coming off 4 straight losses. And you guys came up big today. How proud are you of your girls here tonight?
Yeah, I'm really proud. I mean, especially after Christmas break, this is our first game back. We were limited on practices, so we knew it'd be kind of rough, but I was really impressed. I was surprised how well we played, and I thought we just came together as a team. And Leo, they're a very good team, so I'm really proud of ours.
Coach Beckman mentioned he just putting that 2-3 zone in. You guys look like you did a very good job at that 2-3 zone. Do you feel like the girls and your teammates are comfortable with that 2-3 zone moving forward? Is that something that you think can really push you guys to the next level maybe?
Yeah, and I definitely think we're more comfortable with that. I think we really can rely on each other in that zone, whereas man was a little bit more scattered and didn't know who was behind us to help. So I think that 2-3 zone just gives each other like a sense of comfort, knowing that we've got someone back there to help us. So I think we're doing a really good job with that.
Now, I had you unofficially 20 for 20 from the charity stripe here tonight. How much pride do you take in knocking down those freebies? I mean, you take a lot of effort on your dribble drives to get fouled. How much pride do you take in knocking those down on regularity?
Yeah, I mean, just growing up, I've been preached to that free throws can win and lose games for you. And, I mean, it's an easy free shot. So, I mean, you just put in the practice and you work hard to hit those shots, and the games they're going to come. And tonight they really came in handy with helping us win that game.
Yeah, they definitely did. Without it, who knows what would have happened. Last question for you. Recruiting. You're just a junior. Who's recruiting you? Who's been out to the games? Who's offered you that sort of thing? What's the overall picture looking like for you?
Yeah, well, I'm already committed to Cal State Fullerton, so the recruiting has kind of fallen off recently since I committed in July. But before that, I really liked Valpo, and they had offered me, and I really liked their coaching staff. And there were a lot of other schools in the Midwest that I was looking at, a couple of schools out in California, but it just came down to Cal State Fullerton. It really feels like home there. So.
Another state, Indiana State schools need to recognize, losing at least 2 of them with Carissa McLaughlin and Mason Van Houten going to Florida. And where was it?
Cal State Fullerton.
And Cal State Fullerton being a Titan. So congratulations tonight. Good luck against Lures in your next upcoming game.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Obviously not the outcome you wanted here tonight. Tough squad though that you played here tonight. What was the game plan coming in, especially against Van Houten and the potency of her offense? What was the game plan coming in, and how well did they execute that plan?
Yeah, absolutely. To try to shut down Van Houten as much as we could. Obviously, can't do that. She's a great player. Knew that they had multiple other threats too. But I'm not sure that we executed to the best of our ability. I think that we could have done a lot of things better. But you know, they're great. They're a great basketball team. I mean, they've had a good year, and I think that the key for us was we just didn't hit shots when we needed to. I mean, that's kind of the game. I'm looking at a shooting percentage here that's quite lower than what we're used to, and hopefully that won't happen again. But I think that was the key. She had a great game. Some girls around her did some things well, but you know, we got to shoot better than that.
And just another close loss for you. I mean, a lot of your losses have been 2, 3, 4 points. Besides, I think the Huntington North game or something may have been 10. But so overall, very close games. What's that difference? What's the little thing that's missing right now for Leo to push through instead of being 11 or 11-5 to be 13-2 or whatever it may be? What's that missing ingredient right now that you see?
I think right now what I'm challenging my seniors is leadership. You know, I think we don't have somebody that's stepping up, that's taking this team on. You know, there's a lot as a coach you'd like to do, but you're not on the court playing the game. And so that's kind of my challenge to my seniors at this point. Again, great team. They played great defense. That hurts your shooting percentage for sure, so a lot of the credit goes to them. But we got to step up. And with 7 seniors, we got to have somebody step up and step up their game just verbally and helping their teammates through everything that happens on the court, even if it's missed baskets, getting them through that.
And you'll have that huge test next when you play Norwell, another top 5 team in Class 3A. Only 1 loss to Homestead, who's number 1 in the state, top 10 in the country. So another hard challenge. The girls weren't overlooking that, I would assume, with Norwell coming next. You focus game to game type of thing. What are you looking at Norwell wise? I mean, have you had a chance? I know that means a lot in conference and that, but what is Norwell and what will that mean for Leo?
Yeah, and we're going to kind of regroup tomorrow. We've been really focused on this game. we know it's going to be an up-tempo style like they're used to playing. We play a little bit of that style. I don't know that we're quite as disciplined as Norwell is, so we know that they just don't make mistakes. You're not going to get them to make mistakes. What you have to hope for is that your defense can just shut them down in the half court, stop dribble penetration, and also get out and cover the threes. I mean, they could just kind of do it all. So just looking forward to playing up-tempo, trying to figure out how to play that style and play more discipline ourselves, take care of the ball. And then and then out rebound them, because they're really good at getting the boards too. So obviously a huge challenge for us Friday night, but definitely not overlooking Canterbury. I mean, we are definitely a team this year that's taking it game by game. So.
Well, congratulations on a good season so far. I know it'll be continue to go up. First time for Summit City Sports to get a chance to see Leo is a pleasure, and we'll see you down the road.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.